Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow. I'm Sunanda Jayasseelan. We're very excited to be bringing to you this very special episode of the Leaders of Tomorrow Grand Jury leading up to the Leaders of Tomorrow Awards and Conclave Season 9, which is taking place on the 17th of September. Why are we excited? What do we have in store for you this year on the Awards and Conclave? And what did our jury have to say about some of the pitches, the nominees, the entrepreneurs that they saw that year? All of that we'll tell you on this show. Before we go any further though, I want to take a step back and talk about our legacy, who we are, what it is we do, and what some of the highlights have been over these past 8 years. Take a quick look at what we mean for small businesses as one of the largest platforms when it comes to empowering India's SMEs, MSMEs, and startups, ensuring that your voice, your opinion, your thoughts are always front and center on a national platform. Take a look.
It all started with a simple idea: to provide a platform for the country's most resilient businesses and passionate entrepreneurs. Leaders of Tomorrow is a platform that builds and helps nurture dreams into reality and recognizes true leaders who fuel the momentum. Leaders of Tomorrow is India's longest-running television show for SMEs and MSMEs. From its very inception, it has made it its dharma to be the voice of small businesses and recognize their potential in the country's economy by rewarding their hard work and determination.
A lot more of Leaders of Tomorrow. It's a big recognition.
Over the 8 grand years of Leaders of Tomorrow, we witnessed startups from their inception stage to the IPO stage. We saw MSMEs become the flag bearers in their own sector. We witnessed budding entrepreneurs emerge as strong leaders. Through our programming, the vision has been to not only recognize India's budding leaders, but also keep our ear close to the ground.
My question is, why aren't we seeing more women entrepreneurs? Perhaps you are doing differently, which is ensuring that the outcomes that you're setting out with are being achieved.
Every year we traverse the length and breadth of the country, bringing stories of innovation, determination and drive from every corner of the nation on Leaders of Tomorrow ground events. Here, we are joined by the biggest names from the industry who directly connect with our small businesses.
The infrastructure, funding, marketing is skilled. I don't know, you have taken up the infrastructure, but funding, as you said, is only 1%. I don't think it is even 1% for the VCs or angel funders. The issue which I would like to know, how far this funding as well as the training part, the skill development, because that is also one area which is lacking totally in this particular development area. So let us have some development or some issues, key issues which can be formed so that we take it forward.
If your company needs funds and if it's ready for fundraising, then even if you don't find people who can put money in you, those people will find you for sure. Right? Most of the VCs have outreach teams whose entire jobs is just to scout good investment opportunities, including ours. Right? So, once you reach a stage where you're a good candidate for fundraising, someone or the other will find you, even if you don't go out searching for them.
With the onset of the pandemic, the Leaders of Tomorrow platform has become all the more relevant. As the country's only daily televised platform focused exclusively on the small business community, we served as the torch bearer for them to ensure their voices are heard. As entrepreneurs experienced crises of new magnitudes, Leaders of Tomorrow shifted its programming and focused on highlighting on-ground issues and operational challenges faced by SMEs. We hosted a high-impact digital-first platform, Leaders of Tomorrow Masterclass, which spoke directly to stakeholders and helped MSMEs get answers to their issues.
What's going to be the impact on the GDP because of all the lockdowns that we've seen, because manufacturing plants had to shut down for just a little bit, and therefore lesser demand really for the logistics and supply chain management, industry and ecosystem?
There is a difference between the first lockdown and the current situation which we are facing, which is that in the first lockdown, everything came to standstill and slowly picked up. But currently, we are managing the pandemic while taking care of businesses which are still running.
2020, what that year has been like for all of you, as entrepreneurs, as someone who looks so closely at investing into companies which are in the online digital space, and how you're preparing for FY22?
No, I think so. Last year basically redefined for all of us as entrepreneurs, as the ecosystem, is what is the definition of agility and speed.
But the biggest highlight of every season is the glittering award ceremony, where we felicitate businesses who proved their potential and rose as true leaders. Let's take a look at what some of India Inc.'s biggest names had to say about the Leaders of Tomorrow awards over the years.
Leaders of Tomorrow provides a lot of these entrepreneurs to showcase the kind of work they are doing in terms of the nation building part is concerned, and more importantly trying to solve some unique problem statements which a large related industry can't do. That's what we saw in terms of the evaluations, very unique kind of solutions that they have come up in terms of building. And these kind of platforms will definitely provide a lot more of enthusiasm and motivation for the long tail of entrepreneurship which India has.
Platform like Leaders for Tomorrow is also, creating an ecosystem of not only mentors but also within startups. I think there's so much interesting things going on within the startup ecosystem. There's a lot people can learn from each other. Because I meet startups, some people are very strong operationally, done a fantastic job, but in terms of, let's say, brand, a little bit weak. I think bringing together a startup ecosystem that can learn from each other, help each other, is a large opportunity. That's something that this platform can definitely do.
Every human being at every stage of life looks for recognition, and awards by media houses, by foundations, and just the platform like Leaders for Tomorrow, and just the boost in morale that they get by getting the recognition, by looking at it for funding or looking at it for customer acceptance, I think it goes a very long way.
Let's take a look at some of the insightful thoughts shared by entrepreneurs who joined us previously.
You don't really need to go out and look for out of the box ideas. You just have to look around what the consumption patterns are, and you just have to fix things basis how the customer would like it. So brand has played a big role in what Chaayos is today. Operations has played a big role in what Chaayos is today. We could actually invest a lot of money into technology in order to get perpetual savings from our entire operational stack, if you may. It is about spotting a great opportunity, understanding the customer's behavior, and building a great brand around it.
Great people working together can do great things. It's important to have people around the room who are actually smarter than you are. So, and that really helps, because then you get to see a problem from multiple angles. So we figured that, look, it's okay being a small business to begin with, but what do you hope to aspire? And we were clear, we wanted to be the place that Indians shop for their homes. And that was a mission statement, so to speak, even at the get-go. The other thing that I think from my journey which stands out for me is all businesses go through ups and downs. It is those businesses and those teams which are able to come out of a trough that truly stick together and build something huge. Figuring out that times are not only going to be always great, there are going to be times which are going to be super tough, and how you react to a tough time is again a defining moment. And finally, knowing that life as in business is most important, or the most important thing in business is how about how you execute, and great execution comes from a detail orientation.
I'm going to take a very quick break on that note, but all of the action and the excitement is going to continue on the other side. We're going to tell you what we have in store for you during the Leaders of Tomorrow Awards and Conclave. We're also going to tell you about some of the highlights of the pitches that our grand jury saw, including bringing you some interviews with some of our jury members about their opinion as far as those pitches that they saw, the entrepreneurs, and also what they feel that the level of competition was like this year. All of that when we come back in just a moment. Welcome back. With us here at Leaders of Tomorrow. And tonight, this is a very special episode highlighting a grand jury round that we did ahead of the Leaders of Tomorrow Awards and Conclave that is happening on the 17th of September.
This year in the 9th edition, we take our legacy forward and host this distinguished and grand award ceremony and felicitate India's sharpest MSMEs and startups. As a forerunner to the award ceremony, we conducted a jury round where India's most influential names nominated the most resilient entrepreneurs. The focus and theme for this season is on businesses who not only survived, but revived and thrived in the face of the pandemic, keeping innovation at the core. On this journey, we were joined by some of the most reputed names in the industry. She is the most celebrated banker, a chartered accountant, and the most influential name in the business industry. She is Naina Lal Kidwai. Our next jury member is one of India's best industrialists, a tycoon in the automobile industry, someone who has seen the industry evolve and enter a whole new era. Pawan Goenka. An influential figure, a youth icon, India's youngest billionaire, the co-founder and CIO of Zerodha, Nikhil Kamath. Challenging the norms of our society, a woman entrepreneur in the chemical space. She is the managing director at Vinati Organics, Vinati Saraf Mutreja. Serial entrepreneur, investor, partner, man who wears many hats, K. Ganesh. Our next jury member is someone who is empowering startups and SMEs in the stock market, Ajay Thakur. A leader, an entrepreneur, someone who built his business from the ground up. He is the founder, chairman and managing director of Persistent Systems, Anand Deshpande. Our next jury member is the MD at Transport Corporation of India. He is also the president at Assocham, Vineet Agarwal. And our last jury member spearheads the $2.2 billion Indian conglomerate JBM Group as its executive director since 2010. He is Nishant Arya. This power-packed jury decided on which entrepreneurs walk away with the coveted trophy.
So what we saw today was a very small fraction of the large numbers of companies that participated in this event. We had to pick some winners. It was a hard choice and we picked some of them, but I would like to encourage all the entrepreneurs to continue with their journey and be successful eventually. I want to wish all entrepreneurs all the very best. Entrepreneurship is a hard journey and you have come a long way, and I want you to continue to be persistent to get to where you want to be.
What I saw was that, entrepreneurs are ready to go. They keep on innovating. They know how to, run their business. The resilience level is quite high. And, they keep on innovating new things to keep the business going.
First, I would like to say that the grand jury event was very well organized with people at 12, 13 different locations. They have tried to bring realism into a virtual event. Secondly, I would say that the enthusiasm that I saw and conviction that I saw in the various people who presented on their companies was something that was very exciting and makes me believe that the future of India is in good hands with the young entrepreneurs who are looking to create a new business and new business opportunities and new business models.
We received an enormous amount of entries from different parts of the country over the span of 1.5 months, in various categories and from the remotest corners of the nation. Here is what our jury had to say about them.
These days, with all the glamour, hype on valuations, unicorn fundings that happen, we normally see IIT, IIM, male young founders coming in. I was very pleasantly surprised to see women founders, founders from tier 2, tier 3 cities, not necessarily from IIT IIM, coming and pitching and running great companies. What was most interesting for me was the way the founders passionately went about solving a core problem which Indian consumers face. Without getting distracted by all the hype and glamour around media and valuations, they were focused on their business and were passionately trying to address and solve the problem. Their persistence and clarity of vision really impressed me. The viewers now get a great opportunity to look at the business models, the way modern entrepreneur, whether it's a startup or MSME, is going about solving India's core problems, using internet, using digital tool, using the tailwinds from the pandemic. So irrespective of whether you are able to start a business, you are able to fund a business, or encourage those around you to start a business, participate in the India growth story in the coming years. It's a great opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity.
I'm delighted to be part of the ET Now jury yet again. I believe the awards are now in their 9th year. What we see through awards such as this is a profiling of talent. And I think it is this ethos, that this environment, which has helped create the unicorns that India has seen come forward over the last couple of years. What these awards do is profile winners, and indeed, I believe, also help them on their journey, because through the profiling, funding, assistance, and indeed encouragement happens. And as a result of that, we begin to find more entries, which is very helpful for us at the jury, but also a scaling up of those that win the awards or indeed make the shortlists. So I'm delighted to be part of this group yet again. The deliberations are deep. The diversity of the jury ensures that the discussions come from various viewpoints, all of which get included, but all of which also makes our choices very difficult. Dare I say that the decisions were unanimous, and ultimately through the discussions, I do believe we have made some excellent choices.
The experience of this particular jury event was absolutely fantastic. It is great to see that the ecosystem of our MSMEs is still very robust, and they are the real builders of our economy. The most interesting thing about the presentations were that the fact that all the MSMEs were able to come up in spite of the current pandemic, and they were able to respond to the needs of their own customers, and then almost rise like a phoenix in the last year.
For me, the most interesting part of these presentations was that how these entrepreneurs have sprung up from various parts of India, from small towns, from rural India, and that the impact that they are creating. They are all talking about sustainability. It's not just about profits and numbers. Of course, those are there, but also they are thinking about the impact, about what difference they will make to the society, and that was very heartening. To the viewers of Leaders of Tomorrow, I have to say our entrepreneurs need encouragement. Our nation is built by its entrepreneurs, and we must give them the respect and the affection that we show to our sportsmen, to our Bollywood stars. In fact, entrepreneurs should be treated like celebrities. So please do watch the show, and lots of love and good luck to all the entrepreneurs that have presented and taken part in this show.
Okay, that's details of our grand jury round, but what do we have lined up on the awards? That is coming up on your screens in just a moment.